From the moment the defendant walks into this courtroom, you can tell something's off. This isn't just another misdemeanor assault charge. No, this man is already on deferred adjudication for a first-degree felony burglary with a potential life sentence. And now he's facing a fresh charge, assaulting his ex-girlfriend during a violent domestic altercation. The judge isn't playing around today. In fact, he compares the defendant's lifestyle and choices to a cancer that's slowly killing him, and makes it very clear this is his final chance to get it together. As you watch this hearing unfold, you'll see a courtroom balancing second chances with the hard truth about repeat violence. Pay attention to how the defense tries to spin the relationship dynamics and financial struggles, while the judge pushes back hard with emotional and legal force. Buckle up, because this courtroom exchange is intense, unpredictable, and deeply personal.
And it's
Let's get into
going
it.
to kill you. If it hasn't already, it's damn near close. Somehow, we have to get the message to you that rules are in place. And you now stand charged with assault of a family member. You're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. The reason I have you out now is because I don't know what happened. The only thing I know is that the magistrate put your bond at $25,000, which is typically pretty high for a misdemeanor case. But, you know, everything is about perspective, right? We need to know what happened, your priors, to see how we go forward. Okay, please.
Thank you, Judge. On May 1st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officer dispatched to a disturbance call. Officer arrived and made contact with the complaining witness who stated that she got into a physical altercation with the defendant, who is her ex-boyfriend. The complainant stated that she locked herself in the room and gave officers permission to enter. Officers then detained the defendant and spoke with the complaining witness, who stated that the defendant and her got into a verbal argument when the defendant pushed her onto the bed and began kicking her legs, causing pain. Officers observed bruises to the complaining witness's legs.
And Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. So he is on deferred for a burglary case where the underlying facts are literally the exact same thing. You know what? I got to tell you, I've never been placed in this position, but I have to think that it really sucks to walk on eggshells, have where you basically are in constant fear. What's going to happen to me today? Is he going to get upset? Is he going to go off on me today? Is something going to happen? Imagine. No one should have to live like that, Mr. Sanchez. It's just not fair. I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person, not to be in possession of weapons, have a GPS monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of where she lives or where she works. The monitor is going to tell me exactly where you are at all times. I'm going to tell you now that your bond is at $25,000. If I find that you break any of these conditions, I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have hairs off your beard falling out. Do you understand?
Did you catch that warning? I'll make your bond so high you'll have hairs falling off your beard. That wasn't just colorful language. That was a clear signal from the judge. No more leniency. At this point in the hearing, Judge Boyd has laid out strict conditions. No weapons, no alcohol, a GPS monitor, and zero contact with the alleged victim. And yet, what makes this moment even more shocking is how the defense attorney responds. Instead of acknowledging the seriousness, he pivots to request a personal recognizance bond, a free pass out of jail, citing financial hardship and past relationship ambiguity. But let's not forget, this is the sixth case involving the same victim. At what point does a pattern become undeniable? What would you do here? Is the judge being too harsh, or is this exactly what accountability should look like?
On at $25,000, which is typically pretty high for a misdemeanor case. But, everything is about perspective, right? We need to know what happened, your priors, to see how we go forward. Okay, please.
Thank you, Judge. On May 1st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officer responded to a disturbance call. Officer derived made contact with complaining witness who stated that she got into a physical altercation with the defendant, who is her ex-boyfriend. The complainant stated that she locked herself in the room and gave officers permission to enter. Officers then detained the defendant and spoke with the complaining witness, who stated that the defendant and her got into a verbal argument when the defendant pushed her onto the bed and began kicking her legs, causing pain. Officers observed bruises to the complaining witness's legs.
And Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. So he is on deferred for.
Call the cops. I don't know if they've contacted her on this particular case, but just as far as that's concerned, I know he is on the deferred. But just to give you a little backstory, my understanding, it was a no threatening or harassing behavior as part of the condition of the deferred. He was allowed to contact her. I believe, she's saying X, but she invited him over. He was authorized to be there. And so from that standpoint, just giving a little bit of background on everything, I would be asking for a PR bond, $1,000 PR bond on this case. He does live in Cleveland, Texas. He has told me he will stay away from this individual. He's not working at the moment. He doesn't have any means, manner to afford any other type of bail, Judge.
Do we know if it was a condition of his bond that he wasn't have contact with her while he was on probation?
I believe it was just no threatening or harassing, but double checking on that. But
On that one, Judge.
It says here among the other allegations that he's.
right, another stuff. I think it was a whole bunch of fees that he failed to pay, didn't show up to.
Testing positive for meth, didn't do the BIP program, didn't do the DDRP program.
Judge, with this complaining witness, it was no threatening or harassment. Yeah, that was.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
With this complaining witness, it was no threatening or harassment conduct.
Okay. Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to be straight. You scare me. You scare me. And it scares me that the last thing I want.
This case wraps up with a reduced bond of $10,000, but not without serious warnings. Judge Boyd's message is crystal clear. Cut the toxic people or prepare to spend the next decade behind bars. From missed program obligations to multiple charges with the same alleged victim, the court laid out a damning track record. Despite attempts to argue miscommunication and consent, the defendant's past is catching up fast. And in the judge's own words, "You scare me." That's not something you hear every day from the bench. What do you think? Was the court too strict, or did they go easy considering the history? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this courtroom breakdown as gripping as we did, make sure to smash that like button, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe for more real-life legal showdowns every week.